So I'm preparing for a podcast this evening, afternoon Pacific time and evening East. And I would like to practice expressing what it is that I do. So when they ask what do you do? Besides wear all my hair on one side, I'd like to be able to talk to it. So it seems like the journey, or what I allow. Hey David, hey Jeremiah. It seems like what I'm a bridge for is from being stuck, unable to do the thing that they want, which might be an actual thing, change a job, leave a relationship, eat healthier, exercise, or maybe it's an emotional state peace or confidence, or allow for love. So it's here's this thing that no matter what they do won't fucking move. And this isn't exclusive, my client work expands beyond that, but I think where I'm best situated is to bridge from that state to being out of your own way, which is actually now just kind of a function of had so many notes in my own practice. It's a practice of acceptance, which doesn't seem like a way to get anywhere, but it's the only way if willpower doesn't work for you. Well, it looks like I lost that note, so let's try again. So basically, what I find is that people are unable to do what they want because they're fixated on the state of not doing what they want. And so they have this huge problem because they can't do the thing. And then it only becomes or continues to be a problem because it has now become a problem. So it's a thing. If it wasn't a thing, then they would be able to zoom out and see hey, actually, I got the seed of that in my hand. It's growing. It's it's just a baby, but it'll probably be something big sometime. And so it's kind of training oneself to relax enough into the present moment to allow this to be enough. And that might actually have to come after some level of just safety practice, where it's it's okay if I relax to right here. It's okay. It seems the more horsepower that we have up top and the more shit we've seen, the harder it is to do that, which is kind of an ironic bitch, because those two conditions also allow for really incredible contribution and creation. And so if you've seen a lot of shit, you've got a lot of compassion. If you have a lot of horsepower, you can bring things into being. And it seems if you can relax enough to let what you're not doing be the thing that you're supposed to be doing, then you can do the thing, because you realize you've always been doing the thing, but now you get to enjoy whatever stage you're at. So it's kind of saying I feel I have this tree within me and it will fruit and save the world. But right now, maybe you just got done with composting. And so this tree isn't looking like that. It's looking like this. And so you might not even be able to see it. You could feel it. And so your feels are but this isn't here. It's not here. And your thoughts rather, and as you stay in that thought lane, you continue to hold yourself apart from the experience of growing, because you're saying, this is wrong. This is wrong. But it's not. In fact, all of the mindfulness training, as far as I can tell, is really just to help a person CTFO so that they can do just that. Actually, this is a preview. So I've been working on Hope Rehab. I don't know if you've been able to see that or if you've seen me advertise it. And really what I'm doing with that is I'm making a shortcut. I'm saying hey, look people, everything you're trying to do ultimately is so that you feel good. That's a FG. You feel good. And so your mind, if you've got a lot of horsepower and you've seen some shit, might be trying its damnedest so that it can create a set of circumstances internally. I let that go. I healed that trauma. I'm confident. Or externally, I got this much money. These people think I'm fly, and I'm doing this kind of stuff in my life. So it's like your brain might be going non-stop about how it can somehow pull together these conditions so that you can, alas, feel good. FG. But peeps, that's a choice you make right now, you know? And so it seems like just through this one choice, this one focal point, all else is possible. Basically, acknowledging, yo, when you feel good, you have more energy. Oh, yeah, and your health is better. And, oh, yeah, you're nicer to people. And, oh, yeah, you're having a better time. And, oh, yeah, this is where you were trying to get. So it's if you can allow for this to be the goal and everything else to kind of be symptoms of it rather than the other way around, then you get to partake in this process without being miserable every time you look up and you don't see a tree. You're saying I'm whatever. I'm oh, maybe you're not debt free. Maybe you're not as healthy as you want to be. Maybe you're not, I don't know, maybe you're not expressing in the way that you want. And you're constantly sad because you're but I'm not that. Yes, however, you're this, the seed of it. And if you can identify with the process, if you can identify with that natural trajectory, because I hate to tell you, but we don't have to try to grow. You don't have to push yourself into the ground to get better. It seems if we can, again, CTFO, which might be I'm going to start selling CTFO shirts, swag. If we can CTFO, where is it? Then I forget where I was running. I was going so fast with that. I forgot what you can do. You can do all things through CTFO. Actually, maybe that'll be the shirt. But the point is every time you say, and this is what I found after coaching behavior change for I started coaching personal training 7 years ago, and then it funneled over time to now just this one thing. This is at the top of getting people or yourself to do something. It's you allow it to be true that you're already doing it. You stretch the definition or you relax the limitation or the reason why you can't. If you just kind of you know those things for wine boxes where if you buy a case of wine, they have the cardboard slats that make a 9 grid or a 12 grid. And if you pick it up, if you keep it in there, it holds the wine bottles upright. But if you take it out, you can lay it flat. It's kind of like that. It's that's how I keep thinking about the mind, where it's it's a cool system and it holds stuff in place, but it holds stuff in place. And so if you're held in place, you're probably held in place by your own fucking mind. And so it's how do we step outside of it or collapse the bitch so you can be free to enjoy yourself? Because ultimately, that's what you're trying to do through all things. Everything that you're trying to accomplish, no shit, is so that you feel good. Convince me I'm wrong. Is that the popular language hashtag? Prove otherwise. Anyhow. So I think, I'm actually not sure what the topic is on the podcast. It usually just highlights what's working for different business professionals, business owners, small business owners, and a little bit about their work, because I think it's just an inspo sharing activity. So maybe this won't be on it, but if this is of interest to you, let me see. I think I updated my website. Hold. I think you can sign up for Hope Rehab on haveabook.com. No, not yet. I have to publish my changes. And in that instance, basically I have a couple seats, like 3 to 5. And in teaching this new protocol, I'm practicing seeing like what imagery most resonates, so that when I build a course out around it, I already have like, because this is basically saying everything that I've done before, while it worked, took a fuck ton longer time than it needed to, which is okay. Here we are. So if you're interested and you want to be a volunteer or get on the list for when that is a course, you can go to habitbook.com and look for the Hope Rehab page. And don't do it right now because I have to publish. I have to edit and publish. But yeah, to summarize, what I offer, I think, is a doorway from the room that people feel stuck in to the room that they want to get into. And we just get them there by somehow helping them chill the fuck out so they can feel good. And somehow then you just know what to do. Does anyone have any questions, thoughts, feelings, suggestions, anything particularly helpful you think like maybe I should share with the audience? Or all right, so again, the link, it'll be at habitbook.com, and you'll look for Hope Rehab, and then you can volunteer to be a volunteer. And that basically means we'll talk on the phone, audio only, and at the same time we'll look at a shared Google Draw document, and I'll sketch out these concepts relative to where you are. Hey, Matthew. And then you kind of like build this internal tool that you can use as you wish. I'm kind of thinking it's like the meta tool, but like, you know? So anyhow, let me know if you're interested in demoing that, or if you would be interested in the course when it drops. And thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. It's helpful. It's really helpful for me because I don't need to explain it and that would be part of this protocol, the Hope Rehab protocol, is like, do not talk about shit that's not working. It does nothing. Nothing. So it's just kind of developing the discipline and the awareness. It's not discipline. It's just like preference. It doesn't feel good. If you're prioritizing feeling good, what you think about will definitely change, because thoughts, for one reason or another, can pull. I think of it like when I teach it, I talk about like a nose of a plane, and it's like your thoughts are either like lifting your plane up or they're pulling your plane down. So that's really all you've got, just two directions. I'm alive, it's working, I'm excited, I feel good. Or just like, I feel peace, like this is okay. Or the nose is diving, where it's like, oh, like I gotta fix this is wrong, I'm mad, I'm sad. And it's okay to have emotions, it's okay to have feelings. And often like the protocol is to like layer on top of those, meaning like, it's okay for you to be human. If you feel sad or mad or something, that's okay. And so rather than having a judgment about the feelings, saying like, I shouldn't feel this way, I need to fix this, you say, oh, I feel this way. We feel this way right now. That's okay. We're mad right now. Ooh, are we mad? That's okay. We're so mad. That's okay. We're going to be mad for right now. That's okay. I'm okay. And then it'll burn itself out, and then you go on with your life. But if you're like, I need to fix this, I feel so this, how do I fix it? What do I do? Well, it just continues, because you're saying like, hey, here's my problem. Here's my problem. And it's like, I call that as also part of the protocol, is like the crying baby, where it's like, look, if your baby's crying, if your mind or emotions are all over the place, that's okay. If you want to transcend or use them to like grow forward, then you soothe them. You don't solve them. The mind is just, I think like, I don't know, man. It seems like when we use it exclusively, like just by itself, unless it's pointing the nose up, it's really just kind of like it's like walking into a puddle with your new tennis shoes that has mud in it. It's like everything's fine, and then like that, it's like, oh, fuck. Or what, you know? So that's all I've got for today. But again, like if this is a protocol that's interesting to you and you would like to be a volunteer, you can send me a message or look at habitbook.com for the Hope Rehab tab. I might have to put it up after the show. If you want to watch the show, you can go to facebook.com/ I think it's the Business Bros, or just kind of Google them and you'll find it. I think they're live streaming it at 4 p.m. PST, and this will be my first time on their podcast. I'm not really sure what to expect. They seem high energy and it should be like quite inspiring. They do a great job of like trying to pull things out for other people to use with like, as I've seen them, like what they've done so far. Thanks. Thank you so much for all of the hearts. It's really nice to get that back. Yes. Thanks, Matthew. Thanks, David. Yeah, then you have choices. And if your primary choice is just to feel good, then everything else kind of lines up behind it. It's kind of tough to believe because the mind is like, but then I'm going to get fired. What am I going to do? What am I going to do if I'm not in charge of controlling all the conditions? Oh, wait, no. The illusion of controlling all the conditions. What will I do? And you know what you do? You think about things that would be great, and then you focus yourself into bringing them into being. That seems to be it. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. A pleasure to see you. Again, on the Business Bros podcast, and probably find a link to the live stream if you'd like to join me. I attempted to put a link in my story earlier, but I'm not sure. Also, I should probably do something about this before I sit down. All right. Thank you, guys.